What's the truth under penalty for perjury?
I do.
Go ahead, Nancy.
Good afternoon. Can you please state your full name and spell it for the record?
Kevin, K-E-V-I-N, Greca, G-R-E-C-A,
Where were you employed in April of 2021?
Lenawee County Sheriff's Office,
And what was your title?
a detective.
How long were you a detective with the Lenawee County Sheriff's Department?
Approximately 15 years as a detective,
All right. How long did you work for the Sheriff's Department in total?
31 years.
At some point in time, you became involved in this case, correct?
That's correct.
Prior to your involvement in this case, did you know Dee Warner?
I did not.
Did you know Dale Warner?
Neither of them to the best of my knowledge.
All right. How did you become involved?
Detective Sharp is a colleague of mine, and he let me know that in the morning that there was a missing person, and he was looking into it, or I believed he was looking into it. And then the day progressed, and I really didn't think anything had really occurred on the case. And I believe I got a phone call from Officer Wolf from the Tecumseh Police Department. His daughter worked for the...
Objection, hearsay.
I don't want to know what anybody told you. I just want to know what the first thing you did was, okay?
Okay. Then I contacted Zach Bach, who was the son.
Okay.
And when I spoke to Zach, I asked him if he was on a bank account with Dee
Okay.
Warner.
I'm gonna stop you. Do you remember when you contacted Zach?
Approximately 3 p.m.
Okay, and is that, what date was that?
The 25th.
Was it the 25th or the 26th?
She went, let's see, she went missing on the 24th. It's the 26th. Yep.
Okay. She was reported missing on the 25th?
Correct. To
Okay.
Deputy Hall.
Okay, and so you contacted Zach, and what did you, about 3 p.m. you said?
Approximately.
Okay, what'd you guys do?
He did say he was on the bank account with Dee. I wanted to see if there's any activity on her credit card. So we went to Tecumseh, where they banked, spoke to an individual there, one of the employees, and stated there had not been activity on the account. I believe the last one was like whether it's a massage or getting nails done or something like that, but nothing since she was reported missing.
Okay. After you left the bank with Zach, where did you go?
Went to the Warner residence on Munger Road.
What was the purpose of that?
Touch base with Dale Warner.
Did you make contact with him there?
I did.
Did you have a conversation with him?
I did.
Interviewed him?
I did.
Did Dale Warner tell you that he believed his wife was at Zach's house?
I don't recall that.
Okay. Had you been to Zach's house?
No.
During the course of your interview, did Dale tell you that there was money missing
He
from
did.
his safe?
Sorry, he did.
No, it's okay. And did he tell you approximately how much was missing?
He did.
Okay. And do you recall what that amount was?
I want to say in the $50,000 range. He did give two numbers. I don't recall what they exactly were, but
Okay. Do you remember if it was 50 to 100,000?
that does sound accurate.
Okay. Did you count the money in the safe to confirm how much money was there?
I did not.
Okay, but there was some amount of money left, correct?
I don't recall seeing any money. I asked about a gun. I'm not sure it was that day or the next day, but I believe it might have been that day.
Okay.
If she has any firearms and if the firearm was there.
So the defendant never showed you any sum of money at all that day, or any day?
There was money everywhere throughout the house, in the vehicle.
Okay.
As far as him actually bringing it to me, I don't recall him ever bringing me money to see it or count it.
Okay. And you discussed going to the safe to look for a firearm?
We were in a room in just off the bedroom, and he spoke of a firearm And he said she does have one, because I asked, if she has a firearm, whether it's, suicide or something like that, was kind of where I was going with it. And he said, yes, she does. And he goes, it's right here. But it was just the safe. It wasn't, I said, well, could you please open it up so I can confirm it? And he did. And there was a firearm there.
Okay, and you confirmed with him at that time that he hadn't yet checked for the gun before you got there?
My perception of it was that. That's correct.
Okay.
Objection, then move to strike if that was his perception of it. It would be what he knows, not what he's perceiving or speculating.
Your Honor, we can play the interview from the 26th again if we want to, where Mr. Warner tells him he hadn't checked the safe yet, so.
Okay, well, I would agree with Ms. Chartier at this point that he's required to testify from his personal knowledge, and I don't think that a perception of something constitutes personal knowledge.
Okay. How many guns did Mr. Warner show you that day? Do you remember?
My recollection of the events, I was there on multiple days. I would say a minimum of 7 days. I had been to Mr. Warner's residence. So for me to differentiate what day from 4 years ago, I apologize. I don't recall. If you certainly, my body cams would be on, they'd be there, but
Okay.
I recall seeing several long guns in the basement, kind of up on a wall, nicely displayed. Underneath the stairwell, I think, was another section of firearms. And then in the closet, if you will, walk-in closet, which is where the safe for the money allegedly was that handgun. Now that I think about it, alongside the bed, I think is another safe, smaller individual handgun safe, maybe with like a finger combination or recognition
Okay.
lock.
And at that point, did the defendant express any concern to you that any of the firearms were missing?
He did not.
When was the next time that you had contact with Dale Warner?
Would have been the next day.
Okay. Do you know approximately what time?
I don't.
Okay, and that would have been, well, let me ask you this. You've since retired from the Sheriff's Department, is that accurate?
That's correct.
Okay, and so do you have access to any of your police reports or anything like that?
I don't.
Okay. So, can you tell me again approximately what time you believe you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you think it was early in the day?
It could have been.
All right. Do you remember doing a search of the Warner property where you walked the outside of the property?
I did the inside first, and then started the outside.
Okay. I'm going to show you People's Exhibit 211. This is your body cam dated April 27th, 2021 at 12:28. Is this you doing the search? Walking?
Yeah, that'll be my hand. Yep. Yes.
All right. And what are you looking for when you're walking around the property?
Literally anything. For the most part, D. Warner is really the primary. But then any type of evidence as well, whether it's blood or whatever.
And typically your body camera would have sound, correct?
It does.
Okay. And was this a fairly windy day and kind of loud with your walking with your body camera?
I got you.
Was it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't recall that.
Okay.
But that is a common problem. We've got a dead chicken here somewhere.
Okay. Searching the chicken coops. And at this point in time, do you know there's a couple businesses on the property?
Total of 3.
What are you searching all the semis for?
D. Warner. I would tap on the side of the aluminums first to see if I could, if they were solid or not, hollow, because if I were to open that door, all the grain would come out, so.
Okay.
Check the cabs as well.
While this is playing, if you can look at that map, People's 263, do you know where you're at on the property at this point?
Yes. Oh, here's where the semis are parked, so over in that area. West side of the property.
Now, during this time while you're walking around, do you have a plan for the canine and the drone team to come as well?
I did. Mr. Warner was not aware of that at that point, but I did.
At this point, he wasn't aware?
I don't believe he was, correct?
Okay. Okay. What was the purpose of calling the drone team and the canine?
To search for D. Warner.
Do you know what area you're heading out to now on the map?
Yeah, we're northwest corner of the property.
Okay.
So, this area.
Okay. Can you describe the items, some of the items that are in the back northwest corner of that property?
Pretty much a standard farm operation. You can see some tile there, farm equipment, disc. I remember a semi cab, like just a cab area.
Okay.
Coming up to, in this area is like a burn area where they burn their trash in cans to burn the paper off, and then
Is that the
separate-
area you're talking about right there?
That is it, correct.
Okay, all right.
That where the trees or branches are, that's the burn area.
Okay.
The
And
semi that I was talking about, you can see is blue on the left, the semi cab.
the blue item on the left, far left?
I don't know if that one is. I think the lighter blue one, I don't remember there being 2 cabs, but there might have been.
Okay. And you also said it was did you say trash pile too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I thought I
No,
heard
that's
you say,
correct.
okay. Did the items that you observed around this area appear to be like trash? Because
Yeah, most of the items, correct.
okay. Do you recall seeing this particular tank right here?
I do not.
Okay. And the blue item next to that tank, is that the cab you were talking about, or is that something different?
It actually looks like there is 2 blue cabs there. I recalled one, but according to just watching my video, makes it look like there's 2 of them.
Okay. So is that a cab as well on the right? Both of them?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. All right, and do you see off to the right the 3 cylindrical items over on the side?
From my distance here, it kind of looks like 1 or 2. The ones that are elevated, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, behind that blue, it looks like a bed of a truck.
I think I was looking further,
Oh, sorry.
just past the bed of the truck. Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah.
Again, sorry, I kind of see 2 from my distance here, and then the third one, if that's the third one, elevated, if that's what you're talking about.
Okay, okay. And did those items stand out to you either?
They did not. I don't recall those.
Okay. And then you just do you kind of finish searching the outside of the property at this point?
Yes, I recall jumping up in this dump truck or whatever it is, looking inside of that, and the bed, and then the cab as well.
Okay.
And
Again,
then circling around to the barns.
okay. Again, what were you looking for inside there?
Again, D. Warner.
Did any of the tanks, the chemical tanks that you saw on the property, raise any concerns with you?
They did not.
Why not?
A farm expected to have tanks. Didn't notice anything out of the ordinary with them.
Okay.
It's one of his businesses, well, 2 of the businesses. 1 would be farm and 2 would be the fertilizer, so 3 being the trucking business.
Okay. Now, do you know where you're heading on the property?
Yeah, heading towards, well, this one's more of a storage, or there's 2 maintenance barns, what I'd call maintenance barns, and this is smaller of the 2. As far as maintenance aspect, it had a motor home inside of it, and then if I were to go the other way, it'd be the chemical barn, but so far I'm not heading there. This is, now I'm heading towards the main, what I would call the main maintenance barn, is that one right there, the red and white. Mr. Warner, there's 2 trucks that look like this. One is Dale's, and I don't recall if the other one's his as well, or there's 2, I believe, gray ones like that.
Okay. And did you look inside of them?
We'll find out here in a second. Yes. This would be what I would call the granular fertilizer barn. On the left-hand side, there's several bays with what I expect to be different variations of grain. I'm sorry, not grain, fertilizer.
Okay. Do you recall during this search at what point in time that you told Dale Warner that the canine and the drones were coming out?
I do not.
Did you come out the opposite end? That you
I did.
Okay.
This is the east end of that barn.
Okay. Okay, and what building are you going into now?
This is what I would call more of that second maintenance barn, where the motorhome will end up being in this building. If it's there on that day.
So throughout this video, it appears that the defendant's kind of walking you through the property to show you where things are, or is that accurate?
That's correct.
All right, and would this be normal for a consent search?
That's correct.
Okay, no. What part of the property are you heading toward now, if you can tell? Or wait until you can.
I believe we're going to be heading up towards the office area. As well as what I would call the chemical barn, liquid.
Which, I want you to look at the map and identify which building you're referring to as the chemical barn.
I don't know, number 7. Which one?
Thank you. Yep, thank you. Which side of the chemical barn are you on at this point in time?
This will be the north side.
And if at this point you walked away to meet with other officers, do you know why you would do that?
To brief them.
Okay.
I would have transitioned myself from Mr. Warner to my supervisor, Lieutenant Reckner, for him to continue the
Okay,
search while
so-
I brief the two officers.
Okay, so Lieutenant Reckner was walking around with you at this time?
Correct.
After you walked the property with the defendant, do you know what you did next?
What I did or what he did?
What you did?
I briefed the drone operator and the K-9. I believe K-9 arrived first. I think they were pretty close to come at the same time.
Okay, so did they get there at some point while you were walking through the property with the defendant?
Correct.
All right, and after you briefed them, what did you do?
I don't recall.
Did you formally interview the defendant that day? On the 27th?
Yes.
Okay, and was that after you walked through the property?
I felt like it was before, but I don't recall for sure.
After you interviewed the defendant, did you intend to run the dogs and the drones through the property on the 27th?
Yes, have them do their job, correct.
And did you do that on the 27th? During the day?
We started. The
And-
drone had just lifted up in the air and had just a short, brief time frame.
Okay. Did you have your body camera on still at this point?
I believe so.
Okay. I'm going to play people's proposed 302, 303 body camera from 427.
I want my wife back.
Yeah, no, I agree, that's where I'm at. Right. You want to yeah. And you're going to be getting thrown out too, because everybody else is saying, I appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, everybody's gotta be asking you everything too, where.
Oh, this one of ours. Oh, yeah. But this goes down here, and this guy right back here, which we just hid everything, but just the drone, to make sure she's not laying somewhere in the field right here. And then the one canine, so I don't want the other canine down here. What I was asking you before, I grew up on a farm, so I know the weather thing, it's all that. And I know getting shit in and all that stuff, the hunt stuff as well, but, you're doing great, I appreciate it all, I wanna keep it going.
Great, putting on a good show.
No, I mean, you're doing great with us. Give me the right thing, yeah. And that's what, you know that's what I'm doing. Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting at now, too. I have absolutely, that's why I asked you who you trust here. I have absolutely
absolutely no problem with you doing all your stuff. I get that. Do you have a problem if we stay and continue doing what we're doing with the flying, the drone, these brothers? And that's what we're getting. That's what I want. Alright, so he's been great, everything's perfect, did everything, we explained all that, he said, yeah, I want my wife back, do what you gotta do. And then I'm just at the point right now where, these guys just showed up, now he's like, shit, I got shit to do.
Well, if they're doing.
And that's what I asked, and I get it. Let me explain it, that's my answer right now, but here's where we're at. If someone's gonna say something, first of all, the sooner the better, if she is playing somewhere, whether it's unconscious or whatever, that's still that potential. The second thing is someone's gonna come back, you got 4 that are not your children. That guy did something this way. If we come back tomorrow, we're gonna say, oh, you just gave him 24 hours to do this or that. These guys, that's as basic as that's gonna be. You tell me don't go in the house, I won't go in the house. You tell me this, that's why I ask you. Do you have someone here you trust? I'm the same way as you, I don't have a problem. You want to call Doug Hartog, say, hey, Hartog, have this guy's, whatever. You hang out with them, whatever. And I have to respect whatever you say, but I'm telling you, those are the things.
We walked around and looked at everything.
Yep, you did. I appreciate it.
The only reason that would take out the cleaning, basically just like, bridges and everything else, so if somebody's laying out there, that's all they're gonna do is fly certain around. Well, and I understand that, but just come up from my point of view, it takes 15 minutes for them to fly that, and with us, we're judging on due diligence. So if you could give us 20 minutes, and.
Okay. Okay. No is no. You said okay tomorrow. If that's the case, but that's just the other part. You get this part too. These guys, they came out, and now they got to go back and then come back again another day. Okay.
You guys would have told me this morning.
Yeah.
We could have gone there at 6.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
She left here.
Right. No, I appreciate it. We'll do exactly what you said. All right.
Yep. Like that, and
Guys.
Did you leave? Did you pack up and leave?
We did.
Did you come back on April 27th, 2021?
Same day, correct?
Okay, do you know approximately what time it was?
Can I look at some notes or no?
What?
Because your report shows what time they came back.
Would have been 20:44 hours, which is 8:44 p.m.
What was the first thing you did when you arrived on the property?
Sorry, 4 years ago. I don't recall.
Understood. Who did you come out there with to the Warner property, if you recall?
Believe it would have been Detective Sharp. I'm not sure.
Okay. How many search warrants have you executed during the course of your employment?
No clue. A lot.
When you get to a residence that you're planning on searching, what's typically the first thing that you would do?
Make contact, attempt to make contact with persons at the residence, primarily owner.
Okay, and then what would you do?
Depends on what kind of search warrant. As a narcotics officer, so those are a little different than this incident. But secure it, go through, depending on the threat, if there's potential threats there. Make contact with everybody. Again, a narcotics one, you'd secure the people. This isn't really that, so we were not intending to secure by handcuffing or whatever.
Okay. Were you intending to secure the scene in any fashion on the 27th?
there's two options that are provided to the owner normally, and especially in this situation, you can leave if you want to, or if you stay, you can be detained while we search to secure the scene. In this situation, we're dealing with a potential missing person, or not sure. I don't really treat them too much difference whether it's a missing person or a homicide, but he was cooperative, so he was not secured.
Okay. Do you recall if he was on the property when you arrived?
I don't even recall that.
All right.
My body cam would show.
Yep. We're playing People's Exhibit 214. Oh, wait.
If I was only there once, I would recall better, but the fact that I've been there multiple times, I don't differentiate.
How many times do you think you were out there?
Not every time was a search, but approximately 10 times, maybe more than that. Approximately 12 times.
Okay. I'm going to show you People's 214.
Well, I went to visit my dad when I was talking to you, and my partner did type up a search warrant. We do have that. I'm standing here with both of your daughters at the front door. I'm sorry, side door. And I'll explain everything to you. We do. It is for the dogs, the drone thing. So basically, what we saw earlier. And as of right now, we're not going in your house. We already went through there. So it's just a matter of the dogs just completely. Let's see. My recorder's going right now. It wasn't for a second. It's going right now, so the whole thing will be recorded. If you want to come home, you absolutely can. If you don't want to come home, you don't need to. As far as what we're going to do, drone. That's exactly it. Yeah, the dogs. One dog is here already. The other dog is, I think, about 20 minutes out. I just wanted to tell you, obviously, that you're not here. Just like keep you updated. I'm not trying to hide anything from you, but if we come to the prop boss and say we come tomorrow, that in the event there's something suspicious or something doing some bull crap activity, then how can we say anything? This will shut up the other side of the family. You get that? Well, no, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. You're 100% right. It will not shut up the other family, but at least I've done everything I can at that point. And you. Yep, and we will, there's paperwork on that, so we will drop, if you're home by then, it's going to take a little while, well over an hour, I'm sure. If you're home, I can give you the paperwork. If you're not home, I can leave it with your daughter, and that's it. If you got any questions, I'll have my phone on the whole time, so just give me a holler, okay? All right, thanks. Yep, bye.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who were you speaking to at that point?
Dale Warner on the phone, and the female's his daughter, Cam. She goes by Cammy, but I think it's probably Cameron.
Okay.
And then the other smaller one's Angelina.
And so it sounded like you called to let him know that you guys were getting ready to search the property?
Correct.
Okay. And would that be typical in a situation where you were searching somebody's residence?
Yes, for two reasons. I normally look across a T, dot an I. We have a search warrant, so we can do it. But I also normally do a consent search as well. It assists in case you find something else that you're not looking for, or if there was an issue with the search warrant, you could cover it.
Okay. And it sounds like you said you can come back to the property if you want. Is that also accurate?
That's correct.
Okay, so as part of securing the scene, what did that mean in this particular case?
It really wasn't, as far as secured, wasn't really secured.
Okay.
We didn't take any action. We didn't tape it off, or we didn't have them evacuate.
Okay. Were you told that the defendant was on the property at some point in time during the search?
I don't recall that.
Your Honor, I'm going to let the witness refresh his memory. Sorry, the microphone's over here.
I call him before. He's in farm fields. He's here now, the father. One of his sons is here, and gotcha. I'll have a black. His truck's pretty much like this one here. I think he said he's got a couple just like this. Yeah, he has glasses, right? Yep. Yeah. I. Not to be confused with Dale Sharp right here. So. Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to the speaker.
Okay. So you should slow down. Okay. Yeah.
Did that refresh your memory about anybody telling you if the defendant was on the property at any point?
It doesn't refresh my memory, but it certainly occurred.
Your Honor, I move to strike because if it doesn't refresh his memory, then he can't articulate that it actually occurred.
Was this,
All right, so I would agree with that. If his memory's not refreshed, he can't testify about it. And I would grant the request to strike.
okay,
Thank you.
your body cams that are recording, are those recording strike that. Do you recall having any information about anything being done on the property on April 27th, 2021 while you were there during the search?
It's going to be the same situation as what we just went through. No, then.
Okay. Did the defendant ever make contact with you on the property on April 27th, 2021? During the course of this search?
Okay. Because earlier, clearly, we had done the walkthrough, and then again, I'm sorry, I don't recall.
I'm going to refresh the witness again, Your Honor.
That does refresh my memory.
All right.
Mr. Warner did arrive.
Did you take note of the time that you made contact with him?
Was it 21:34? So 9:34? Correct. 9:34 p.m.
When you spoke to him at that time, do you know how he arrived on the property?
I don't recall. He had been driving his truck, but I don't recall how he arrived that time.
Okay, did you see it when I just showed you the video?
I saw him walk up and it's dark. I didn't see it.
Okay. Oops. You don't know if it was a personal vehicle or a farming vehicle?
I don't.
On April 27th, 2021, during the course of this search, did you find anything?
Nothing of evidentiary value.
Did you come back on April 29th, 2021 to the Munger farm?
Sorry. I have to refresh my memory with my notes or report.
Initial report from the 29th.
I did it 3:08 p.m. It's like, kind of walked away a little quick, but I believe there's two numbers. Sorry, I believe there's two numbers there that normally indicates when I arrived and then when I left. It's something I have a tendency to do for search warrants. Just let me know when I start and stop. But
Okay. At the time that you went back on the 29th, were you executing another search warrant, or did you just go there to talk to Dale Warner?
so you walked away a little too quick for me to read what I had done on that day. Sorry. 4 years ago and a lot of contacts. Yes. A consent search, not a search warrant.
And on that day, do you remember calling the IT guy?
Yes, Kyle, I believe is his name.
Okay. As a result of that conversation, did you take something with you from the farm?
Very sorry. I don't recall. Some DNA, I believe.
From Kyle?
No.
Okay. I'm going to refresh your memory about what you got from Kyle.
Yeah. Copy of the surveillance video. Doesn't specify whether that was a thumb drive, but in the property section, it would specify whether it was a thumb drive or
Okay.
floppy disk or something. I believe probably a thumb drive.
Okay, so you got a copy of the surveillance video, and that would have been for the Munger farm?
Correct.
All right. What'd you do with the thumb drive or the download of the surveillance footage?
Normal protocol, what I would do is make a copy of it, which we call a work copy, and then the original would go in the evidence property room.
Okay. And did you watch any of it?
I watched some. I delegated video to somebody else, I believe Kim, who was a bailiff here earlier.
Okay. Kim, what's her last name?
Straub or Bruckner. She got married at one point, so I'm not sure which it was, but she was on maternity light duty, and so she was in the office, and delegated for her to
Okay.
watch the video.
All right.
And then, I'm sorry, to answer your question, yes, I did see some of the video.
Again, what were you looking for?
At this time, we're a couple days into it, so we looked at it for a few things. Obviously, Dee Warner, when the last time she was on the camera, Dale Warner, his activity, or anybody else coming on the property. Vehicles driving by was another issue, trying to see if somebody could have picked her up, as that was potentially rumored.
Did you notice anything that concerned you on the surveillance footage?
Not that concerned me.
During the course of the investigation, did you also check hospitals?
I did, made phone calls, correct. And then Blue Cross Blue Shield as well, which was her medical insurance.
How long did you investigate this case? How long were you on this case?
At one point, it became a task force, so then it extended with that as well, with the state police and the FBI.
At least a year?
It sounds accurate with the task force part of it, correct?
Okay. During the course of your investigation, what did you do? What types of things did you do?
Numerous searches, any tips that we came up with. Spoke with Zach Bach early on, requested from him a copy of all the employees from every business, family members, at which point I delegated interviews to Deputy Hall of family members that I just didn't feel were necessary for me to interview, that he would be able to interview. Again, numerous search warrants as well as consent searches. Pretty much every time I'd get a consent search from Mr. Warner as well. Again, the Blue Cross Blue Shield, a collection of DNA. There's three different methods of collecting the DNA. One would be from the person himself, whether it's an oral, buccal swab of the person. Clearly that was not available, as Dee was not around for that. A second way to do it is to find or to obtain it from three family members. The three family members were Zach Bach, Greg Hardy, Zach Bach, which is her son, Greg Hardy, which is her brother, and Amber Million, who is her daughter. That's one way. So I collected that from all three of those. They consented. And then the second way was during a search warrant and a consent search, going through the residence in the master bathroom. Took her toothbrush, which I asked several family members which toothbrush was hers. There was a lot of toothbrushes in the bathroom. Another item, I believe, was a hairbrush, and another item, I believe, was a razor that shaved her legs or whatever. I believe those were three items. So again, collecting DNA from different sources. I believe the items of DNA went to, I believe, the state police, and then the knowns from the three individuals, I believe, went to Quantico, the FBI. Yeah.
Did you also get dental records?
I did.
I have nothing further.
Good afternoon, Detective Greca.
Hello.
Mary Chartier, I represent Dale Warner, and I want to ask you some questions this afternoon. So, it sounds like you were the lead investigator on the case for well over a year. Is that correct?
Correct.
So that would have been roughly the end of April 2021. The task force was formed in roughly March of 2022. Does that sound right?
It does.
And then Michigan State Police took over the case on August 9th, 2022. Does that sound about right?
That sounds accurate.
Did you do any work on the case after that time? So once Michigan State Police take over, are you still involved at some level?
If a phone tip would come in, again, being the original agency, I would forward that to the state police. But as far as any active looking into it, no, the state police was adequate to handle it.
Were they communicating with you at all about the status of the case, or no, once they took over, you were out of the loop a little bit?
Not particularly. If they had a question, they'd ask me. But other than that, no.
When the task force was going on, it was Lenawee County Sheriff's Department, Michigan State Police, and then the FBI?
Correct.
Thank you. Now, when you were working on the case, it sounds like you spoke with Mr. Warner numerous times.
I did.
And he had another attorney, not anyone sitting at this table. He would let you speak with Mr. Warner even when he was not present, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Warner would chat with you in person?
And on the phone, correct.
And on the phone, correct?
Correct.
Now, he also gave you full access to his daughter, Lena, too, right?
Correct.
So even when he wasn't present, you would chat with her. I think at least on one occasion you went to school and had lunch with her, correct?
Correct.
He didn't try to prevent that access at all?
No, he kind of more offered it, so.
Now, we saw the video, and if you need to see it again, that's your body camera video where there's a tank on the property on April 27th, 2021, and you walked by it, correct?
Correct.
Was there anything about that tank that stood out to you when you walked by it?
I didn't even recall seeing the tank. I recall seeing other tanks, but they were like fuel. I think one regular gas, one road diesel, and then one off-road diesel. But as far as those tanks there, I didn't even recall seeing those.
Did you watch, so while you were investigating the case, did you go back and watch your body camera footage at all, or do you know if anyone else did?
It was trying to think if the video was sent to the FBI as well. I believe they would have received it as well. I watched some body camera. I don't recall watching that section right there. And then I had watched some drone video, but then again, it was delegated to Kimberly Bruckner Straub.
When you were working on the case, did anyone comment on that tank in the video and say something looks unusual about it?
Objection, hearsay, and he has no recollection of the tank either.
He certainly has a recollection of his time being involved in the case from April 2021 to August of 2022. And while he might not have remembered seeing the tank, we can ask if he remembers someone talking to him about the tank. If he doesn't remember, he can say that.
Okay, but your statement, your question asked for whether someone made a statement, and so that would be hearsay.
So I'm not asking what the particular statement is, but I can rephrase if the court...
That was built into your question.
Okay.
The particular statement was built into your question.
Okay, I'll rephrase to see.
Okay.
Did anyone, while you were investigating or involved in the case, ask you any questions about that tank?
They did not.
Now, did anyone, while you were working on the case, ever discuss a welding theory with you?
No.
Do you have any experience working on a farm
I do.
or living on a farm?
I do.
And what is that?
Living on a farm, working on a farm.
Okay.
Grew up on one, so probably second grade, moved to a farm. And crops were your standard crops: corn, soybeans, wheat. And then we had a fair amount of the hay field.
Did you ever work with anhydrous ammonia?
I was younger, so in a sense, yes. My father would do it and drive tractor or whatever. But
were you familiar with the fact that anhydrous ammonia was on the Munger property?
Yes,
How did that impact the investigation, if it did at all?
it did not.
Are you familiar with any hazards from anhydrous ammonia?
I am.
And what are those?
It's from both farming and minor.
Unless he can lay a foundation for his testimony.
I'll continue on and ask him, but, so what is your familiarity with anhydrous ammonia?
Two different means. One is through farming, and then the second is through the narcotics division. It was a substance that was precursor for making methamphetamine.
So how much, in terms of, so how long did you work in narcotics?
3 years.
30 years? Okay.
Three.
Oh, 3 years. Okay, so 3 years. Did you get training in anhydrous ammonia?
In the manufacture of meth, which, yes, but as far as training in anhydrous on that aspect, no, just that it was a precursor for making it, and then the safety factors with it, but that also goes along with the farming itself, the knowledge of that.
So when you were in narcotics and you said sort of the training or the safety, were you told things to avoid or precautions to take?
Yes.
And what about with farming? So you said you grew up essentially from second grade. Did that stop at age 18 or did it continue on when you lived on a farm?
Probably to about, I think we started renting our property out, I believe. I'm not sure when it stopped, probably around 20 years old, and that's just an approximation.
So roughly from second grade to when you were 20 years old, and then the 3 years in narcotics.
Correct.
Your Honor, I believe that's a sufficient foundation to ask Detective Greca what precautions, if any, he's aware of with anhydrous ammonia.
Any objection at this point, Ms. Wise?
No objection.
Thank you. Detective Greca, what precautions, if any, are you aware of when dealing with anhydrous ammonia?
The tanks themselves will have what I probably call a PPE, personal protection equipment, kind of a square box on it, possibly as well as with water in it to rinse off in the event there's a hazard. Approaching it downwind, if there is a leak, it's extremely toxic, poisonous. You'll know instantly, just takes your breath right out of you.
Does it have a smell?
Very strong.
Very strong. And if you get it on your skin, are you supposed to put that water on to try to wash it off?
Correct.
What happens if you get it on your skin?
I don't know.
Okay, but it sounds like it hasn't happened to you.
No, my lungs have been burned by going through it, but as far as on my skin, no.
Now, moving on to other work that you did when you were investigating the case, do you recall a family meeting with members of Ms. Warner's family, Mr. Warner's family, and some of his, and Mr. Warner himself on roughly March 9th, 2022?
I do.
And during that meeting, do you remember what law enforcement officers were present?
It would have been myself, Detective Drewier, I believe Detective Singleton, and then FBI Pat Guillahan. Sheriff was present for the beginning of the meeting.
In the meeting, was it at least in part to brief people about the status of the investigation?
It was.
And then at that meeting, were you also asking people if they would volunteer their phones?
I did.
And was that, for example, a consent download?
It was.
Had Mr. Warner prior to that given access to his electronic devices?
He did.
And so he'd given access to phones, iPads, things like that, correct?
Correct.
Now, at that meeting, did anything unusual happen?
Yes.
What was that?
Greg Hardy and let's say Little Billy and his podcast individual, another partner of his, I believe, I don't recall his name offhand, but called us out in the hallway. Myself.
Object based on the hearsay.
At this point, I'm not asking for what anyone said. I'm just asking what happened. But if I may, so I am going to get in what was the content of the conversation, because I'm not offering it for the truth of the matter asserted. I am offering it for, one, a plan that Mr. Hardy and Mr. Little had, but also it goes to what happens next with the investigation.
Ms. Wise?
It is
I do not know what the statement is, so I have no way of analyzing it right now. I'm gonna have to ask the jury to step outside to the jury room so we can have some additional discussion outside.
Thank you. So Detective Greca, going back to that meeting, it sounds like you, Detective, now Lieutenant Drury, Billy Little, who you called Little Billy, Chris McDonough, who is his podcast partner, and then Greg Hardy, the five of you stepped out of the main meeting into maybe a hallway and had a conversation. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And will you tell us what you were asked to do?
Greg Hardy wanted to present it as if he was consenting to his cell phone to be searched, which is what we were doing with all the family members of both sides. We had approximately 5 Michigan State Police phone analysis individuals in another room. We were going to brief the family, answer questions after we briefed them on what was going on, and have the phones being downloaded at the same time just out of efficiency. So at the end of the meeting, we'd be able to return their phones back to them.
So just so I understand, so Mr. Hardy wanted to pretend to give you and the other law enforcement officers his phone for a download. And so pretend he was consenting to the download, but not really have the download occur.
That's correct.
Is that something that you agreed to?
I did not.
Why not?
When dealing with an individual, such as this case, Mr. Warner, if they catch you in a lie, it can hurt you later on down the investigation. We can lie as law enforcement to individuals when we're talking to them. However, you lose face and it could harm his cooperation in the future.
So you indicated that that did not occur. You were not going to participate in that ruse.
That is correct.
Did you ultimately get to do the consent download of the phone that day?
Of Greg Hardy's?
Yes.
No, we did not.
Thank you. Now, when you were speaking with Ms. Wise about the searches that were conducted on the Munger Road property, you indicated that essentially it's standard to try to make contact with the homeowner unless it's some kind of unusual situation. Is that accurate?
Correct.
And so when you were on the property for the search warrant on April 27th, you already had officers there. We could see it in the background, but you were calling Mr. Warner to alert him that police were on the property.
Correct.
And that sounds like that's standard for what you would do.
Yes.
You also indicated that there's a strategic reason to ask for consent to search. So that way, if there's a problem with the search warrant, almost belt and suspenders. You've got the search warrant, but someone also consented to the search. Is that fair?
Correct, as well as if you found something that was not listed in the search warrant, you could seize it as well.
So that sort of rapport building or communication has a valid law enforcement purpose?
It does.
And so when you were communicating with Mr. Warner, you said you tried to be as candid as possible. Do you think that benefited you in terms of him continuing to speak to you?
I believe so.
No, I want to wrap up. To be clear, you received a subpoena to testify here today.
I did.
Did you want to testify in this trial?
Yes and no.
Okay, so explain that to us.
The yes part, just for the truth to be able to come out.
And what's the no part?
I'm retired. $1.50 an hour, I believe, is what I get paid to testify today.
When did you retire?
August 20th of 2024.
August 20th of 2024. Was that something that you had planned? It sounds like you'd been working for 30 plus years, or was that a bit of a surprise?
No, it was pre-planned. Our retirement's based on our best consecutive 4 years. That weekend was a race weekend, MIS. We make 4 days of overtime on that. It's big money, so it was pre-planned.
Now, once you retired, did you do any work at all on this case? Any sort of monitoring of it at all?
No.
I asked you a compound question, so I'll break it down. Did you do any sort of work on the case?
I recall one thing.
And what was that?
There's a lady that was writing me. Her name was Ruth Nortley. She just kept on writing me letters, kind of a pen pal type thing, but she was vested in it. She knew the family quite well. She was an older lady, farmer. She would also, when she would write me a letter, which was at least once a week, she would send me a letter that she had written to Dale Warner as well in a self-addressed envelope, so I could read that, and then she wanted me to forward it to Mr. Warner.
So did you continue to communicate with Ms. Nortley just because she was writing to you?
Yes, somewhat, but after the investigation, no. But then there was an incident that I wanted to get in writing from her that I felt was important before she passed. She was on hospice.
Did you ever get that incident in writing from
I did
her?
not. I did not. She had passed.
Who did the incident involve? If you remember.
Greg Hardy.
Object to hearsay. He's getting this information from Ruth Nortley or some Nortley who's writing him letters.
I didn't ask what the statement involved. I just wanted to know. He said he wanted to get a statement in writing.
You asked him who it involved.
Sure.
And I don't think we have a foundation for his knowledge of that yet. I suspect we know, and there may be an issue with it, but you can inquire about the foundational issue if you want, and then we can address whether or not it's yours.
Thank you. So did you interview Ms. Nortley?
I spoke to her.
And without getting into what she said, did she share information about various people?
She did.
And who were those people?
It was Dale Warner, Greg Hardy were the primary ones. Angelina.
And you wanted to get a statement from her about something that she had shared, again, without getting into the statement.
That's correct.
Of those three people, who was it about?
Greg Hardy.
Now, despite the fact that you're retired, living your life, you said getting a $1.50 an hour is or is that it? I think as a witness, potentially?
Correct.
You got the subpoena and you're here in court testifying, correct?
I am.
And I know you had to have your memory refreshed a bit. When's the last time, you had access to your reports and body camera? Is that when you retired?
Prior to my retirement.
Prior to your retirement. So since you retired, it's not like you take your body cameras, your reports and things with you and study them at home.
That's correct.
Okay, and then you retired, probably about a year and a half ago? Or even over that. So you said August of 2024?
Correct.
I have no additional questions. Thank you, sir.
I believe you indicated that the defendant gave you full access to the minor child, Lena?
Yes.
Okay, and was it your understanding, based on the defendant's multiple statements, that she wasn't even home the last night that her mom was seen?
From him?
Correct.
The specific aspect of that, I'm going to say I don't recall.
Do you recall if Dale Warner told you if Angelina spent the night anywhere that night?
From him, I don't recall. I know the answer to that, but not from him.
What's the data? Do the data. Page 14 of 54. I'm sorry, beg your pardon?
Page 14 of 54.
Okay.
You want me to read? There's going to be additional questions, or is just what you asked?
Just what I
Okay, yep.
Did Dale Warner tell you that Angelina was not even home the last night her mom was seen alive?
She was home but leaving.
So she was not there that night?
She was there but left.
On the night of the 24th?
I'm sorry, can I see that again?
Was it your understanding that Angelina was present in the home on the night of April 24th, 2021?
She had been present during the evening part, approximately 7 or 9 p.m., and then left with Amy Alexander.
For the night?
Correct.
Okay. As far as Greg Hardy not wanting you to look at his phone, did you know the reason why?
I did.
Okay, and why was that?
He stated that a federal law enforcement officer was providing him information that he would get in trouble for providing.
And was this information about his sister?
That's what I took it as.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further.
Detective Greca, was it your understanding that Angelina, while she wasn't home that night, she lived in the house with Mr. and Ms. Warner, correct?
That's correct.
And was it also your understanding she would at least witness them interact? She would know what she observed of their relationship?
Correct.
And as it relates to Mr. Hardy indicating that a federal law enforcement officer was giving him information, what would be the problem with that from a law enforcement perspective, providing detailed information to a family member?
There was several. The information wasn't coming to not myself, law enforcement. It was going to a family member, and it appeared to be confidential information obtained, say, through illegal means.
And can that impede the investigation?
It can.
I have no additional questions. Thank you.
Nothing further.
We have several questions from jurors who'd like to approach and we can review it. Okay, it's my understanding that the parties agree that all but one question may be asked.
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's correct.
Okay. Did Dale ever restrict you from going to certain areas during the consent searches?
The only restriction was the revoking of the consent search at one point, and then we came back with the search warrant. Other than that, nothing was off limits.
What did your first conversation with Zach consist of?
Confirming that he was on the bank account, making it legal for us to access the bank account from Zach on his mother's to see if she was using a credit card, getting gas or anything else. That was the first contact with Zach Bach.
When you put your body cam in the police car, was it because you wanted to talk to Jaron Warner off the record?
It was not.
In your interviews with Dale, did you ever notice any tears or emotion about his missing wife?
Tears, no. Emotion, yes.
All right, Ms. Wise, do you have any follow-up questions you want to ask on those issues?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Sharkey?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. And may we excuse Detective Greca from his being at this point?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks for your offer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 4:30 at this point, so we're going to break for today. We will be back Monday morning. We'll start at 9 a.m., so let's be here shortly before then. Until then, during the trial, do not read, listen to, or watch any news reports about the case. Under the law, the evidence you consider to decide the case must meet certain standards. For example, witnesses must swear to tell the truth, and lawyers must be able to cross-examine them. Because news reports do not have to meet these standards, they could give you incorrect or misleading information that unfairly favors one side. So to be fair to both sides, you must follow this instruction. Thank you, and have a nice week.